Hello everyone, it's Retroaction, and something has arrived. I'm really pleased about this. So last Thursday, I was able to find more Connectables, which is a toy line that I only got into recently. It's actually the toy line I've been collecting for the least amount of time. It's the newest toy line I've been collecting. I first found out about this toy line. I discovered this toy line at Cosmic Joe's actually last year. Less than a year ago actually. I think it was summer last year, I can't exactly remember. That's when I picked up the Powertronic Kai pack from there. And ever since then I've been trying to find more, and I haven't been successful until last Thursday. I was really pleased about this. So yeah, the interesting about this toy line is, well, I instantly fell in love with the concept of the vehicles that I instantly fell in love with the concept of the vehicles that come in multiple sections, which you can take apart and reattach and make your own combinations. I absolutely love that. I also really love the silver colour, silver plastic they used. And when it came to, I just couldn't find. The interesting thing is, I've been able to find hardly any information about this toy line. There's one site online. Turns out it was actually one of the only channels on YouTube to make videos on it as well, which is why I ended up putting out quite a few videos on this line last year, because I realised there weren't many out there. And so, as I had the Connectables Powertronic Carry Pack, I thought I'd change that and put out some Connectables videos, and I became like one of the only channels to do it. Really, it's like my own niche sort of thing. So that's kind of cool that I'm like the Connectables channel in some way. I mean, I've seen a few other people put shorts out since, but there isn't really a lot out there, which really surprised me. And so I thought I'd put out some videos after I got that. And I just fell in love with this toy line so much. But there's just no information out there. And I really loved the Connectables Rescue Force subline, which came out at the very end of the line. You have the Connectables Rescue Force. Yeah, there's like one site online that had any information about the Connectables, and it had like all different images of the Matchbox catalogs pages, and so that's how I found out about the Connectables Rescue Force. And it's basically, yeah, it's basically like the power of the force of the kind of, for kind of Star Wars and the European exclusives of Transformers G1. It's basically that for Connectables. It's the last hurrah, the final line, so the final vehicles that came out had this more original futuristic design, and I really loved that, because the other vehicles looked like your standard, normal everyday vehicles. These had a much more, like your race cars, your trucks, and your jets, but these had a more futuristic approach, and they were just more. They came out with, they just started to come out with more original designs, and so these are two of those. These are the Connectables Rescue Force Multiformers. And basically the point of these is they're trucks, and they transform and they open up and they become like rescue units. They're like rescue units, and they open up and they have loads of cool features inside. And I was able to get two of them last Thursday, which I was really surprised about. Yeah, and the only thing, basically the only thing I could find out about these online, the only images online was one of CRF-1. As you can see, all of the Connectables Rescue Force vehicles have CRF, which is what Connectables Rescue Force, that's obviously the abbreviation for Connectables Rescue Force. So yeah, so you've got CRF on all the vehicles. And just randomly on Flickr, there's one image of CRF1 in this mode, not opened up, so I can't even see what it looks like opened up. And then, if it wasn't for some seller in the Netherlands putting up a listing of a carded CRF5, I wouldn't be able to know what any of these look like, because on the back of the card they showed all 6, and that's the only reason why I know what these are, other than the image from the Matchbox catalogue in 1993, which is of this one, which shows this one, and it's a completely different design to this one. So it looks nothing like this, the prototype. So that's really interesting. So there's next to no information about these online, and last Thursday I just happened to put a search in for Connectables, and I found this, and I wasn't sure because I had I've never seen, because outside those on the back of the card there's illustrations, so they're not like in this silver colour, they're like in, so they don't look like this on the back of the card. They're only like 2 colours or whatever, so it was hard to go off. It was hard to know exactly if this was actually a proper one or not. But it had the CRF on there, Connectables Rescue Force, but it doesn't match any others. They normally look more like this one. So this one had a very strange CRF. I thought it might be a custom or something, but it had the same silver colour, and it looked the part. So I thought, yep, and I wanted to know more about it, because I wanted to have more of an understanding of these, so I was really hoping I wouldn't miss out on it. And then after this one showed up, an hour later, and the other thing that got me is that this looks nothing like the front of the vehicle for this particular multiformer, and this one is in fact incorrect. And it's supposed to have another one on the back here as well. This one's definitely the least complete of the two. So that's what confused me, but I've never seen it before. This is the first time I've actually had an in-hand image of what this looked like. So outside the packaging and the catalogue. And then an hour later this one showed up, and I just couldn't believe that. I was amazed that I went from finding none of these to 2 of them in one day, and I managed to get them both. And when this one showed up, I knew instantly that this was the real deal, because I found a coloured image of CRF-6 months ago, last year, and so as soon as this one showed up, I knew that this exactly was what this was. In fact, I knew straight away that this was actually what I was looking for. This was the multiformer. This was, yep, this was a real one. This was a proper one, and so I was like, yep, I've got to get this. And there were 2 different sellers as well, so it was crazy. They just happened to have 2 of these. 2 people just happened to have these at the same time. It was just amazing, and I can't believe it. I'm just really pleased that I finally able to get these. So I now have 2 Connectables Rescue Force vehicles, and I never thought of doing these this soon into collecting a tour line. I'm just amazed. It's just absolutely fantastic. Right, anyway, so this is the mobile conveyor belt, and this is the mobile fire squad. So to transform it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift these parts down like so, and there you have it. I'm going to pull this bit around, and actually when I did later, after I bought it, I realised that this did in fact match the CRF-3, because it had the exact same transformation. This is how it looked on the back of the photo, on the back of the card. So I know now this is actually this is actually a proper. This is actually a multiformer, so that's really cool. And then what we do is we take this, and it's got an actual working conveyor belt, which is really cool. Now I think in the image it shows it like that. On the other one it doesn't come down this side, but this one does, which is a bit strange. But on the card back it shows it like that. So that's how it's supposed to be. And yeah, you can roll this down, which is a really cool feature. So that is CRF-3, and now we've got CRF-6, the mobile fire squad. This one has a water cannon which comes out, and I was really pleased that it included that, because they actually come in this mode when in the packaging on the card. And so when I found, and yeah, I knew that this one came with that. I also checked that the listing said that they had found this as well, so that's fantastic. So this one's the more complete of the 2. It's still missing 2 yellow triangle pieces on the inside. They don't really serve much of a purpose, and they do, yeah, in the packaging. This is packaged separately in the bubble. There's a separate bubble for this. So they come packaged in this mode, and this piece is detached in the packaging, and so is this. So I was really pleased that it has that, because it's a really tiny piece, and that does detach. So I was really pleased to have that. So that's really cool. And this is definitely my favourite of the 2. I love that feature though. So yeah. And this one does have the proper front as well. This one is definitely not the proper one. I know that. But this one is the proper front half. So there we go. Very cool. As you can see, that's the connectable gimmick there. Same connectors as all the others. And then this one comes out much easier, and you can put these together, and you have your fire truck. It's got like a ladder and everything. Really cool. And I'm not sure if this is unique to this vehicle, or if this was like from one of the other Connectables. I think it might have been. There was a fire truck one, which like had multiple sections, like a 3-section vehicle, I think. So it's got a fire on there. It could be one of those. There's also the Commandos from the Rescue Force line, which has a fire truck looking one as well. So it could be that. But this is actually supposed to come with it, and yeah, there you have it. So you got your vehicle there. I love that. It's fantastic. And then with this one, what you do is you open it up from the top, from this part there. This bit folds all the way up, this bit comes down, and then you get this part that comes out. It's like a water cannon sort of thing, and I'm guessing you might have like people inside there or something, because you've got like windows, which is really cool. Didn't notice that until I looked at it earlier today. And there you have it, that is CRF-6, the Mobile Fire Squad. And these are really cool. I love the way these are I love the way these transform and everything. Obviously I love Transformers, so that's always cool in my book. And I love how you got this like water cannon, which is really poseable and everything. And so obviously you can put out the fires and everything. And it's got lots of movement. You got this hose as well, which I didn't know this thing moved, but it does. As you can see, that moves too. And you've got lots of detail in there. The strange thing is, these yellow things are meant to go here and here, and they actually block part of the sticker. So they're meant to be same colour as this, and they're like right angle, triangle shaped yellow pieces that just clip on here and here on either side, and they actually block like part of the sticker up to there. I love the detail on this, it's fantastic. And so you can get your vehicle. Now you've got your own mobile fire squad. I mean, I love the futuristic design of these. I think it's really cool. I love Connectables, the concept. This is just a really cool toy line, and unfortunately there's just not much of it out there, for these ones anyway. I just can't. So yeah, and now I'm actually I now have 2 of the 6, which I can't believe. So there you have it. This has been Retroaction with the Connectables Rescue Force Multiformers, and I'm the first one to make a video on these as well. I'm the first one to document these, I believe. There might be some images from long ago which are no longer accessible. Maybe there's some kind of private Facebook group or something with images out there, but if you look online for these, you're not going to find these outside the ones I said. So I'm the first person to actually show what these are like, and this is why I wanted to get them as well, so I could finally get an understanding of what these are like, what it's like to have these, because no one has any reviews on Connectables out there. They show some of the vehicles, but I was the first one to properly do like a proper full-on toy review of them, like how I would, like, you know, like you get the Transformers reviews and Star Wars reviews and everything. I was the first one to do that for Connectables, really. And so, yeah, I'm the first one to do a video on these. I'm really pleased. These are really cool, and I hope to find the rest one day. And I still can't believe I have these. I love all like the stickers and everything. I might do more detailed videos on these. This one's obviously, they're both not complete, but there you have it. It's been Retroaction, thanks for watching. But then again, I kind of have gone over all the features here. Yeah, it's been Retroaction, thanks for watching. Bye for now.